Wednesday, January the 8th, 2020, and I'm westbound on 80, heading towards Ohio to meet up with the guys from Instinctive Passion Outdoors. I originally met those guys this past year down in Louisville, Kentucky at the ATA show. Had the opportunity to hang out with them quite a bit, talk hunting, drink some beers, stayed in contact. We were trying to get together and hunt some turkeys this spring, but it didn't work out. Spring 2020 is going to be different, I guarantee you that. Stevie invited me to come meet up with them, hop in the truck, and ride the rest of the way out to Indianapolis for the 2020 ATA show. We're also going to make a pit stop on the way out there tonight and meet up with a guy who's going to officially score the just ultra giant massive freak show of an 8-pointer that Stevie killed this past fall. By the way, I'll put a link in the description if you want to check that video out. They have it up on their YouTube channel. It's definitely worth checking out. Also, you might want to check out some of their other videos because, I mean, they're just a bunch of big buck killers. What can I say? Pretty excited to get out there to the show, see what's new in the archery world, catch up with some people I haven't seen in a while. So I'm gonna keep on cruising here. I got a couple hours to go before I get to Stevie's place, so I'll catch up with you later.
Welcome to Ohio.
Well, I just pulled in here. I sure hope this is the right house. Not sure if it is or not. Oh yeah, there he is. See him. The guys are here. Oh man, look at that. What's up, guys?
There's the man.
I made, oh my God.
There you go. Go
Good
get
things.
that scored and then we'll get on the road.
Precious cargo right there. My gosh. Did I see you guys post something that this is potentially like
It's pretty big.
like one of the top 8 points?
Depending on how he wants to score it, yeah. That his left side, the way the grain of the beam.
Uh-huh.
So if he agrees or says the grain of the beam goes up, then he's technically a mainframe 8 with a abnormal point. If he says the grain goes down, even better, less deduction.
So he'd score better as a 9, but
Yeah.
we've talked to a lot of people that say that that's an abnormal point because if you follow the grain, it follows that. But I mean, it kind of looks like a G4, so.
That's where social media people been eating us up, man. We said something about a mainframe 8, and they're like, I count 9 points. And I'm like, well, it's kind of hard to explain on the Instagram comments.
Hey, who cares, man?
Hey,
8 points, 9 points.
Yeah.
Shoot stuff like that.
I don't care if you had
Yeah.
6 points.
Comment all you want, buddy. I brought gifts of deer jerky.
Heck yeah.
You ever get sick of people staring at your rack?
Oh, I love it.
We had a little over an hour's drive before we arrived at the home of Steve Swihart. This dude is an absolute authority when it comes to scoring trophy animals. He's been doing it for a long time, and he's scored some of the biggest bucks to ever come out of Ohio.
I've seen so many pictures of this thing. Congratulations on a hell of a deer.
Thank you.
I know that the largest 8-point is 181, and it's out of Minnesota. This is a 9-point, so it'll be scored as a 9-point, but you're going to lose this point anyway. So I'm assuming that we're probably going to be pretty damn close on that record of being scored as an 8-point, but
So you would consider him a 9 then?
yeah. Well, I gotta measure that too. Can you hold this right here?
We were told, and I just maybe would like to get your opinion on it. We were told that the grain of the main beam, there was a lot of controversy on whether this was, and I would just like your opinion basically.
Well, you see all these holes?
Yeah.
They're blowflies.
Okay.
And he jammed this main beam and made it bleed. And the blowflies came in and started burrowing into that. This is a G4.
Okay.
And this is the main beam. This side here was damaged too, just a little bit, it looks like, because you can see looks like there's a piece of tree limb in there.
Yeah.
Now a deer farm, if they want a nice rack to have drop tines, they'll bring the deer in and cut a web or a blood vessel on that while they're in velvet, and it'll bleed, and that blood will quit going up this way and go downward and start a point. So that's how some non-typicals are. And these deer farms wanted big non-typicals and with drop tines because that's what everybody wants, and they utilize that.
So that's how a lot of drop tines get started then.
Yes, but they can also get hurt on the right side, and the left side will be a non-typical, and vice versa.
I've heard that
If it's hit with a car, or if you hit it on the side of the deer and whatever, it's a trauma thing and it affects it. But they can also, when they're in, drop their horns, they can go in on the post or the pedestal area and split that and make a split brow tine, or they can take a chunk of it out and put it on the hip bone and it'll grow a horn on the hip. That's why you see unicorn deer where it's been damaged and a chunk of it is floated over underneath the skin and healed itself to the skull, and it'll grow a point.
Sitting behind secure doors, block guards in Washington, D.C.
You got any questions whatsoever while I'm going over this, ask them.
Okay. Stevie, go ahead. It's your buck.
I'm just waiting for that final number to hit the page.
Greatest outside spread with that thing. So now, here's a question for you. Why do you guys take the measurement of the greatest outside spread and then like the, what do they call it, the tip-to-tip spread, but then the inside spread's the only one that matters?
It's all reference. It's for Boone and Crockett and Pope and Young. You'll send pictures in and everything, and they're looking at pictures and they're looking at the score sheet and they're seeing, oh, it's got 11 4/8 inside or tip-to-tip and inside spread, and then the outside spread. But they also look at the circumference measurements, and they can tell, they got a formula on the inside spread and the circumference measurements, if that is a correct score compared to the outside diameter.
So it's basically just double checking the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have the horns in their hands unless it's a record typical or record non-typical, and then it'll be panel scored.
Many of us don't think it's a good idea, but we should all be able to agree because the White House briefers were being voted on tomorrow. And now the president doesn't need to get our permission for this or that. So you don't consider Soleimani a terrorist? I don't. Unless we make sure, if there was a right? I mean,
The old cable method. I've never seen the cable. Never killed anything big enough.
Well, when Teddy Roosevelt did this Boone and Crockett stuff, he said it was supposed to be a 1/4-inch tape. They adopted the cable years ago because it makes it so much easier and flexible to follow the...
Yeah. You're not fighting it all the time.
Yep.
What's one of your favorite deer that you've ever scored? Too many to count?
Well, I'll do 300 animals a year. Mark Hammer's buck was massive. That was 252 2/8, I think it was. But it's not the biggest one I've ever scored. I mean, the Kaufman buck, we panel scored it because it had the potential to be a new record for Ohio.
Well, we brought it to the right guy then. Quit cheating, Stevie.
You'll see it when it's done.
Come over here. I can already see him adding it in his head. I see him counting on his fingers.
I ain't gonna do it, just my brain. That right there. If that would have just stayed together,
I mean, it is what it is.
I wouldn't have let him walk.
That's the truth. No matter what it comes out to be.
Well, he beats anything I got on the wall, and I got another one downstairs in the basement.
He had 5 encounters with bow hunters this year, and one guy missed him.
The presence of Turkey and Russia and others have a dual natural gas line.
He's done.
Get that first reaction.
9 inches deductions.
Oh, that's a lot.
About 10.
I'll be happy if he makes Boone.
Well, last night we slept
Defense under Article 51 of the UN.
I say
And of course,
he tells everyone except for Stevie.
I just leaned up and looked. I seen a number.
He still makes Boone and Crockett.
I'll take it.
176 and 6/8. Typical. Had 9 inches of deductions, one non-typical point of 1 5/8 off the G2 right side, and the left side had a G4, which is a wash because of that. 187 and 3/8 is what his total gross was. This is a fair chase affidavit from here down, stating everything is legal, nothing illegal about it, no game violations. You didn't use your wife's new car to hit it. This is all self-explanatory. There's a checklist over here.
At this point, the only thing left to do was fill out the seemingly endless pile of paperwork necessary to make things official with Boone and Crockett, Pope and Young, and the Ohio Big Buck Club. With the help of Mr. Swihart, Stevie got it all taken care of, and we were ready to get back on the road.
Well, thank you very much, sir. We greatly appreciate it.
Third deer I scored today.
Oh, wow. No joke.
You were already warmed up by the time we come.
Hey, thank you
Hey, yeah.
again.
Yep, thank you.
Learned a lot.
Yeah,
Thank you.
appreciate it. Definitely learned a lot.
All right, sir.
All right,
Have a good one.
congratulations again.
Yeah, have
Thank
a good
you.
one.
Yep.
We had a few more hours of highway time before we arrived at our final destination, Indianapolis, Indiana, home of the 2020 Archery Trade Association convention. Well, we just made her to home base. We've arrived. The Fairfield Inn. Rack made it here in one piece.
Jerky almost made it here.
Oh yeah. Just a few scraps left. But that concludes the journey. Day 1. We're gonna go get some sleep. We got checked into our room and settled in for a few hours of sleep before the festivities kicked off in the morning.